This kick can decide it all. The nation holds its breath. Yes,
Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about a defender from Limerick called John Patrick Ryan. He's a 19-year-old and one of a growing number of, as everyone knows, there's lots of young Irish players now in Italy, going to Italy, and I presume in the summer there'll be more going there. But this is one, the one AC Milan, Inter Milan, Udinese, and Como as well. They're in Serie B. They'll be all Lake Como. That one's known because of the area, but the side not necessarily. But it hit the headlines because Henry and Fabregas are involved, and Dennis Wise. So, but John Ryan has signed with Sassuolo. Now, wouldn't be in the same fame as all those other clubs I just mentioned. Inter Milan, Udinese, AC Milan. But they've been in Serie A for 10 years. So not a lot's been said about John Ryan either. All the other Irish that have gone to Italy have been headline news, and everyone keeps bantering around their names and all. There's another Bose guy that's gone to Serie C, Mantova, and hopefully there's not even less about him, but I'd love to do a video on him too, and also going to do one on Liam Kerrigan. But John Ryan is the first, and again, Sassuolo has been in the Serie A for a long time now, but they're just not a famous team outside of Italy. Around the world, there wouldn't be a household name, so to speak. Anyway, he is. There's not been a lot said about him online, or I couldn't find any interviews with him or anything. He's a left back at present. He can also play on the right, and I believe in midfield as well. He started his career at youth level for his local side in Limerick, Ashling Anacotti. Very nice name. Team, never heard of him, but great name. He also has a background in GAA football. For Limerick sides in Ballybricken and Monaleen, as well as the Limerick Primary School's Gaelic football team, all of which would have helped him develop as an athlete and as a footballer. GAA being so big in Ireland, you'd imagine it's probably the number one sport in Ireland, but maybe that's being challenged by rugby now, but I think it would be still the number one sport, Gaelic football. In 2017, as a 13-year-old, he started playing for St. Kevin's Boys, who are a renowned schoolboys team who have a long history of developing players who have gone on to have substantial careers, and it's a long list of players who have played at the highest level. They've come from St. Kevin's Boys. Most famous of which was Liam Brady, who also played in Italy for Juventus, amongst others. And the only reason he left Juventus was because Mr. Platini arrived, and there was a limit on foreign players at the time, so he had to move on. But he had a great career, and also current superstar Irish striker Mr. Evan Ferguson also came from St. Kevin's Boys. He of course plays for Ireland now and Brighton, and he's only 18. So he's coming from a big youth team there, St. Kevin's Boys, and it's a good long drive from Limerick to Dublin, so I'm not sure if at that time. He moved to Dublin, which shows dedication in itself, or even if he was commuting several times a week to play for St. Kevin's Boys, which is even more commendable. Either way, whatever way it happened, it shows real determination, dedication, hard work, and sacrificing from him and his family. It's to help him develop and improve, and taking the best opportunities for him and his career, and a sign of things to come, you'd have to say. And it was a good move. He stayed there for 3 years, playing for the youth teams. No, sorry, he only stayed there for 1 season, but then he moved to Shamrock Rovers Academy, who he obviously saw him there. He stayed with Shamrock Rovers for 3 years, I meant to say, improving, and he made 11 appearances for the reserve team, which you'd think, the reserve team, Shamrock Rovers, again, if you're outside of Ireland, you'd be like, where do they, but they actually play in the Irish First Division, did play at the time in the Irish First Division. So he played in the second division, basically, in Ireland, which again is impressive. That would have been what, as a 17-year-old. So then Shamrock Rovers would have obviously wanted to keep him, but they're one of the best teams in Ireland, and the competition would have been hard, especially for an 18-year-old to break in, 17, 18-year-old to break in. So he wanted to move up. Shamrock Rovers, he might have stayed there, but Shamrock Rovers lost their spot in the Irish First Division, not through relegation or anything, because there is no relegation from it, but because Treaty United, new team Treaty United at the time, which is ironic, they're also from Limerick, where John Ryan is from, but they got hit the First Division spot. So he left Shamrock Rovers. He could have maybe competed for a starting place or bit part in the first team, but again, they're the top team in Ireland, always there or thereabouts. Great setup and a lot of players there, so he obviously felt it was better for him to move. Also, education-wise, he was coming to a critical point in his life, the Leaving Cert, and he went to UCD, which could facilitate him on both playing first team football in the Premier Division and also on the education side of things. They were able to help him there as well. So he moved to UCD, who again were in the Premier Division at the time. He moved to them in 2022, so just last year. He made 22 appearances for UCD in all competitions. Not all starts, but again, he played in high profile and high level games. Again, education might have come into that, might have, hampered his starts maybe, or might have got in the way of his training, or I don't know. But it's very important for an 18-year-old to focus on their education as well, and a lot of people go back after they've done with their football career. It's hard to juggle the two. So as a then 18-year-old, September of last year, he finishes Leaving Cert. That's what, about May, is it June? So September of last year, he moved to Serie A in Italy, Sassuolo. Again, that's the team. To their academy, it is fair to point out, but still, it's a significant progression, going from Limerick youth level, Kevin's boys, then Shamrock Rovers, reserve team in the first division, then in the Premier division in Ireland with UCD, now Serie A. Again, it is as an academy player. Well, as far as I know, he's in the reserves now, or whatever they refer to as their reserves. But yeah, it's an impressive rise. So impressive to say the least. It also shows wise decision making, masterstroke movement throughout his career, from the very start in Limerick to present day. It appears the contract with Sassuolo is a 1-year deal with an option of a second year. Now, I don't know if the option just applies to them or him and them. Either way, I wouldn't see, he's 19 now, he's just turned 19 in January. I wouldn't see that as a bad thing, that, 1 year, people do get signed up to top teams for 3, 4, 5-year deals. And then if it goes pear-shaped, then they're stuck there, and nobody's going to pay a transfer fee for someone that is unproven. So, really that plays into his benefit, that he's only signed a 1-year deal. He can have a good look around and see if he thinks there is a good chance of him breaking into the first team, or even he stays for a second year, and then he'll know the lie of the land. Then he'll know the management, if they believe in him, if they want him to go there, or if not, what's best for him in his own career. So again, I think that's the perfect fit for him at the moment. And if he is doing well, he could use that as a bargaining tool to improve his terms and chances of himself at Sassuolo. You say, yeah, listen, well, I don't mind staying, but I have to have first team football, or I want more money, or, I want a big deal, or whatever he wants, if other teams are interested in him. So, yeah, I think it's a perfect kind of scenario for him, whether that's through look or design, either way, I'd say it's perfect. On the international front, he has had an extensive career with Ireland throughout the youth levels, representing us on the 15s, 16s, 18s, 19s level, and he'll no doubt go on to under 21s level. It's impossible, nothing's guaranteed in life, but he looks as certain as he could be that he's a shoe-in to go all the way at club and senior international level with Ireland. Really hasn't put a foot wrong to date with everything in his career and his life. So why there's no interviews or major headlines or media attention on him to date, I'm not sure. It's either a smart move on his and his team's behalf to keep the light off him, so he can focus on the important thing, improving on his football, and avoid any unwanted distractions that come with celebrity and fame and media. So yeah, it could be that, or it could be just a case that that of all the Irish, there's lots of Irish gone to Italy now, and Sassuolo wouldn't be a famous team, as I said earlier. Wouldn't be well known in Ireland or anywhere else really. But again, they are a top team. They've been in Serie A for 10 years. They're currently 12th out of 20 teams in Serie A, so very mid-table. They're nowhere near the relegation zone in points, so they're definitely going to be there next season. And next season, if he does sign a second-year contract with them, next season would be the season he's going to break into the team, or start to try and break into the team, or go on loan maybe somewhere, or I don't know what his plans are. But it's as stable as he can be in any league. They're a stable Serie A team. They're not going anywhere, wouldn't appear. They have 2 current Italian internationals and various other internationals from other countries sprinkled throughout the squad. So they're not going anywhere really anytime soon. In keeping with the rest of his career to date, the move appears to be perfect for him, and his career no doubt will give him further opportunity to progress and climb to even higher levels, which he has already achieved as an impressive just turned 19-year-old. Definitely a career to watch, and one that will develop into a top player again, whether that be at Serie A, Sassuolo, or somewhere else, who knows. But we, of course, will be keeping a very close eye on it, and all the best to his continued success and wherever life and his career takes him. Thanks for listening.